All right, there you go. That's how you fix it live. See, guys, like I always say, just get going. Right now, I just had a little glitch on this thing, but there I am. Boom. Anyways, let me fix this up. It's pretty cool the way things are set up and everything. But if you can hear me, if you love me, if anything, you hate me, just let me know and comment down below. Show those likes, show those loves. Anyways, you're coming to the KDN Show right now where I'm pretty much going over the ideas and everything that I learned throughout the day, going from the 9 to 5 to the entrepreneurial realm. And I'm just sharing and journaling my ideas, my journey, my events, everything that goes on. That way you guys don't have to go through it and don't make the mistakes that I do. Learn from it. Anyways, today I want to talk about the lateness. Oh man, there's a big thing that's been getting me, and some of you can probably resonate with that. Like first things first. If you're the type that 30 minutes goes by and that doesn't mean anything to you, it's like, okay, it's 30 minutes. You're probably one of the late ones. If like you're probably the one that everybody's waiting on when they're trying to go somewhere like a park or anything, and you're the last one, or on the car and everything, you're probably the late one. And I resonate with that because that tends to be me. And to tell you the truth, I'm not perfect at it, but I've gotten way better from what I've been before. And I wanted to like touch up on it because there's a lot of reasons why certain people aren't running on the clock that everybody else would. And just to let you know off the bat, you're like, to begin with, you're running on the early birds world today. So the schedule wasn't made for people like me or you if you resonate with the whole lateness. And those who are early, you need to listen to this. That way you understand where they're coming from. Now, the world wasn't made for the late person, the person who stays up at night when the ideas come up to them at 12 at night. They go to sleep at 2 a.m. normally without any issues. And that's when they fall asleep. These are the people that are waking up probably feeling energized towards 11 a.m., 12, maybe even 1 p.m. Those times is when they're starting to wake up more. That is the kind of person I'm talking about. And I'm talking about it's called a chronotype, and it's called the wolf. And I actually wanted to like give a little credit to a book that I was reading, The Power of One. It's pretty beautiful. It talks about like the sleep schedule and when to do things that you should be doing. And of course, I still have my book that also helps with a lot of ideas to, expand on stuff. But the main thing that I like really want to touch on is like do the things when it matters throughout the day. Like I'm gonna touch up on the schedule in a few seconds, but the main thing is you really got to talk about like the lateness of the person. Why are they late? What's going on in your head for a late person like myself? And I own up to it 100%. But sometimes it's like, if I'm gonna speak from two perspectives. Mine, a late person, then there's the other person that's the early birds, the ones who are like, oh, why the hell is this going on? Why are you doing this and stuff like that? Because they don't get it. They're the lion. That's another chronotype. The wolf, they're the lion. Wolves stay up at night, nocturnal. Lions like to get up. They feel energized without the alarm even going off. Or bears, which is probably like 50% of the population, which just means you get up not too early, not too late, and you're like in the middle. Work schedules are actually made for you and the lion. But for wolves, and there's another chronotype called the dolphins, they're like the insomniacs. They can't really go to sleep, wake up. Like they're always on high alert while they're sleeping. But the main one I want to talk about is the wolf, which is the nocturnal guys, the ones who are staying up, the ones who are late to everything, the ones who are working on their own time and have no concept or sensitivity to other people's time. Now, I say that like that because point blank, we're in our own world when it comes to that. And the way you deal with it is by addressing it. And you got to realize you're living in an early bird's world, a lion's world. They wake up at 8 a.m. They love to have meetings at 8 a.m. Let me backtrack. They don't wake up at 8 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., no problem. They'll wake up at that time. And they're the ones going into work and just like telling everybody, why are you late? Why are you not having this meeting? That's their world. This is the work schedule has been made for them. They hit the genetic lottery when it has come to that. Now, as a wolf, if you got a boss who's a lion, you got to talk to them about that. And you got to realize that they have to realize that, you guys don't work on the same schedule. You're active at a certain time. For example, myself, I am not active when it comes to 9 a.m. I mean, I do it because of pure motivation and things like this. Like I can force my schedule, but naturally, if you leave me alone, my circadian rhythm will naturally go to waking up around 10 a.m. Like I'll just get more alert around 10, 11 a.m. and that's still low. Like I really wake up more towards 4 p.m., 5 p.m., things like that. Like just acknowledging this about yourself, you start realizing you can't work on other people's schedule. You can't. You just have to work around it. And addressing that is the first thing that you got to do. So the concept of time is a big one, which is understanding that as a wolf, as a person who's going to on a different schedule, not working against the grain, working against what other people think is the right time. Your concept of time is not the same. It's pretty much 5 minutes for the lion or early bird. It's 5 minutes. To them, it could feel like 30 minutes. For the late person, the nocturnal one, the one who doesn't have the concept of time, I'm going to just call you the late person. That's it. Guess what? You're thinking 30 minutes. It's the same as 5 minutes. It's like water for you. It's nothing. And so to recognize that and the discrepancies between the two, you got to be able to be sensitive to other people's time, as well as they have to understand you that your mind doesn't work like that. You'd rather try to think about possibilities and try to crash in so many things at once. And that's also why you got to get into organization. So the other part about that, knowing that you're a late person and you're going to be showing up to places not on time, and that's usually you want to be journaling things in the morning when you wake up. Typically the time you should be waking up, and this means that you got a good night's sleep. It means that you wake up around 7:30. The latest is 8 a.m. The reason you do this, and look, on weekends, I know people throw themselves off. They're trying to go out late and things like that, but you still got to wake up. I'd rather have a shitty Saturday morning where I wake up kind of groggy than have a whole week where I'm just thrown off. So you got to fix that. You got to wake up regardless of what at 7:30 to 8 a.m. And so because of that, you got to make sure that that's like the timing. It's actually more like 7 a.m., but I'm going to give you the 7:30 because usually you want like a little rest, snooze button, boom, 20 minutes, boom, wake up again. That's you. So when you have that going, you want to make sure that you start doing a few rituals in the morning. So journaling is one of them because it gets your stuff into, like, it gets it on paper. You start building a to-do list, and that immediately gets you into that frame of mind. I'm going to do the things that matter the most because in the morning, you're actually the least productive. You're not going to do anything. And I'm pretty sure many of you have noticed this where you go to work, you have 8 hours of work, or you're just a business owner, whatever you're doing. The amount of hours that you put into a day, you'll notice that towards the end, that's when you pretty much finish fivefold what you did in the morning. It's just because that's just the way you work. You're on full auto towards the end. In the beginning, you're just like going through the day, groggy and everything, and it ain't working for you. So you got to understand that and build schedules around that. When you have your list, build your schedule around that. You got to realize that you're taking on too much. The late person, that's actually the issue. Priorities. That's the big thing. Wolves. Man. So you got, for example, you got to go to a birthday today, let's say, but you got work, then you got to work out, then you got to eat, then you got to maybe take a nap because you overslept, then you got to do a few things that catch up. Some random overtime issue came up at work and you got to stay a little bit more. Now you're trying to do all these things in one day when sleep is already taking away 8 hours on average, when work is already taking away another 8 hours, and then you got to do your weekend warrior stuff, which is build your business or do whatever you do outside of that, or work out and things like that. That's taking another 2 hours. So all in, you're already 18 hours out of a 24-hour day, and then you're trying to put everything in between, which includes eating, going to the bathroom, and everything. You got to be realistic with things and realize that most of what you're doing is not going to fit in your day at all. Never will happen. Won't work. And the issue that we, as the wolves, struggle with is that we don't like to drop things. So we like to finish things off and keep going with it. So you got to actually drop those things. If you got you got to go to the birthday party, you probably have to drop the gym time or at least cut it. You got to let it go and make it happen because then you're going to show up to the birthday. Whenever I showed up on time to things, and it's always a work in progress, I realized that I had to drop a lot of things. I had great expectations of the day, and since you're a late starter, it sucks because most people are starting early. The Bears, the Lions, everybody's already started before you, and you're the one who keeps going after they're already sleeping. So you have an advantage, but your advantage comes later in the night. Your advantage doesn't come in the early mornings. So you got to realize that and use that to your advantage and move forward. So once you realize that, build your schedule right and shave off everything else that doesn't immediately impact you now importantly. By that I mean it's not just urgent, like you have to do it now, but it's like important. It's something that's going to affect you long-term wise. What's something like that? For example, I don't know, medical stuff. Like you got to go get a surgery. You don't put that off to the last minute. Maybe you have a financial issue. You're going to get an overdraft fee on your bank account, or you're making a deal where you got to pay thousands of dollars right now, and tomorrow's too late. You got to do that now. That is real importance. You got to prioritize those and forget the rest. Just let it go. Do it another day. If you can't, it's gone. You can't do it. You're actually going to disappoint yourself and the others by trying to do all of that. And trust me, it's not the easiest thing, but the more you keep doing it, it becomes easier. Now, the other thing is to pretty much fix your sleep diet. So everybody talks about food and everything and the diet between food. You actually have a sleep diet. And I kind of touched on it earlier. That's the reason why I brought up the book, The Power of When, which is beautiful, by Michael Brewer's. Like, I'm reading this book and I'm going to put it up on my website. Like, that's the next thing, because I have my, by the way, little plug in there. I have my top books, the ones that I always recommend on my website. It's the top books on the tab. You could go at kdnjimenez.com/books and you'll see it there. I'll have it in like the links as well. You can check it out. But yeah, I have it there. I'm going to put that book up because it's just become so beautiful. The way it describes everything when it comes to sleep patterns, it makes everything fall in line, because sleep is very important. And once you take care of it and realize when you should be doing things, when you should be eating, when you should be sleeping, when you should be doing certain things, depending on who you are and your personality type, it tells you a lot about yourself and what you're doing wrong that's kind of messing you up. And it's things like gym time. It's things like nap times, like sleep times. And since we're talking on the topic of lateness, and for those for you who are not late, understand this so you know who those people are, your friends, family, loved ones, and you know how to cater to them and talk to them in this manner. The wolves, they wake up late. So that means they're waking up at 7:30 on a good schedule, sometimes later than this, a.m. And they had to do everything from taking a shower to getting ready to getting prepared while they're not even feeling like they should be waking up at all. So the body, the rhythm is all completely messed up at the time. And by waking up at that time, if you had a good time sleep, a good night's rest the night before, you might be feeling good. So 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. is usually a good time to wake up. 7:30, you have to do the snooze button. That's fine. Usually you want to be eating breakfast by 8 a.m. Have the biggest meal you can. Breakfast, for those who wake up late, is actually your most important thing. Why? Because it gets you fed for the whole day. Since you're going to be staying up at night, you're going to have the bad habit of eating junk food and things that you shouldn't be eating late at night. This kind of helps balance it out. Since you're already full, your body doesn't feel like it needs it anymore. So by doing that, eating at 8 a.m. or as close as you can to that, a big meal is really good for you. Breakfast should be your biggest meal. Now, the other thing you want to do is, I think around 1 o'clock is when you want to take your lunch. Instead of the 12 o'clock where everybody else is doing, 1 o'clock is probably your time. And that's going to set you up for the way that it fluctuates. The book covers a lot of this, but I just want to highlight some of this and give you some value, on the video itself. And when it comes to, I think 4 p.m. is when you want to have snacks. 4 p.m. is good for snacks. Nap time is good around 2. Actually, 1 o'clock is good for eating lunch. 2 for napping, and by nap I mean 10 minutes. Like, don't be like everybody else where you're sleeping for 30 minutes. By the way, thank you for joining. Jay, Wilson, Bronx, Rel, OSAP, Jessica, all of you guys, freaking awesome. And click the little hearts and make it rain like forever. So what was that? Was 4 p.m. is good for snacks. When you want to eat your dinner, 8 p.m. That's good for you, because once you eat at 8 p.m., you eat later than most people when it comes to dinner. When you do that, you probably won't need another bite of anything for the rest of the night, even though your schedule is going to be closer to 12 a.m. falling asleep. Hey, Jarrell, what's up, man? Love you, man. I haven't seen you. We got to go to the gym soon, real soon. I'm going to make it happen for you. Been going to some other one. But yeah, what I was getting at is pretty much the late person and everything and what their schedule is like. If you want to see a replay and everything and what you like today, let me know. Show some of those hearts. I already see it going. Lovely. Check it out. It's on the Facebook. I'm gonna have it there. I'm also putting it on the YouTube. If you guys want, I'll put it up on my. You can pretty much find everything through KDN Jimenez with a J Jimenez.com/media. Like always, I'll even put it in the comments. But the last thing that I want to say was pretty much when it comes to a wolf, which is the person who's a nocturnal person, aka late person. You want to fall asleep around 12 as close as possible, and latest 1 a.m. But don't even consider the 1 a.m. Just try to fall asleep around 12 a.m. And that allows you to have that sleep where you wake up at 7 to 7:30 a.m. And you continue that for a week, you're gonna feel way better. Today, I actually broke that. Well, yesterday, I actually broke that, and for the first time in a while, I feel like shit and sleepy. But I'm telling you guys what's been working for me and how I'm switching it back to make sure things happen. Yeah, thank you for the love, man. It says a lot, makes me keep going, and that way it just encourages me to put out more stuff and more content. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I'm gonna also, for those who are on Facebook, you're gonna be able to see this little preview. I put the top books up, and I'm gonna switch over to it. Pretty much with the top books, you get to see everything that's here. I have it listed for all the books, the 1 through 5 at the moment, with the bonus book 11, and that way, anytime you want to see what I'm up to and what I'm doing, you just know right away, okay, these are the books that he recommends. You don't got to waste time reading through any others, and read it like it's a freaking dictionary. Nobody says you got to read a book from cover to cover. You read it from table of contents, see what catches your eye, read the main parts, and then just go through it. Whatever catches your eyes, by the end of it, you come back to it like a freaking dictionary. That's the way most books should be read. Some biographies, nah, you should read it all, but take my word for it. You're gonna feel like you didn't read everything, but you're gonna realize, like, once you talk to people about that book, that you know a lot more than even those who read the book cover to cover know. So I'm just showing you guys the top books. I have it there. Yeah, just a nice little page I put up. I'm gonna do the ones for movies as well, apps, all of these things put together. That way you guys know what kind of value you could find out there. No need to, go find out yourself and just play around with it and have to read through all these books. You already know what I'm talking about. If anything resonates with you, you see where to find it. So I'm going to leave the descriptions and everything on the page and the comments. Let me know if you like what you're hearing. How do you struggle with your sleep? When it comes to lateness, are you the friend who's always late, or is there somebody that you're pointing out? And I know some of you are going to point me out, but how about somebody else? Let me know what you think. And, opinions always freaking matter. So I'm going to let you guys go.